Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Heroes World Quarantine podcast review of Loki episode 4? Question mark? I am your host, Dupe. With me is my other co-host, the owners and proprietors of the Heroes World store in Markham, Ontario. That'd be John and Andre. Please say hello.
Howdy,
Hello.
folks.
And of course, our resident Prince of Mischief, the Loki circa 199998, Rob Godet.
What's up? What's going on?
So thank you for joining us today as we continue on our review. The first half of 10 minutes will be a non-spoiler review. We're going to give our thoughts on the episode. And then if you want to continue on the journey with us down the rabbit hole, we'll go with our full thoughts and spoiler review of the episode. So John, it is your time this week to tell us our favorite segment, an unhelpful but yet helpful review of this episode or summary of this episode without any positive or negative adjectives. So tell us what happened without giving anything away.
So we want to keep this spoiler free, basically, just an overall summary.
Do your best.
Happened in the episode. So the previous episode left the two Loki variants stranded on, I don't know what the name of the planet was, but somewhere.
Lamentus One.
So they're stranded there. No way home. We see what happens with that, and we get to actually peek behind the curtain, and they reveal a little bit more about what is making the TVA tick. And we see a bunch of other characters return. So Owen Wilson, Mobius's character, we see him come back. And I think that's all we can say without spoiling, because there's a lot of reveals in this trailer. So make sure you stay off the internet before you watch this one.
All right. So great. So thank you, John. And as we go, I'll ask you your thoughts on the episode, what you like, what you hated, the acting performance. What did you think about this episode? Episode 4. I think it was called what's the episode?
Event.
Yeah,
Nexus event.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I'm going first, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So spoiler free. Overall, I did like the episode. I will put it higher than previous episode. And again, Tom Hiddleston is just killing and crushing every episode. I will shout out the other character, B-15. I don't know the actress that plays her, but I thought she gave a very good performance in this episode. Overall, like super negative things about this episode, nothing really. I feel like this episode kind of just, it sets things up where I guess is it considered the halfway point, or we're beyond the halfway point now?
Just beyond,
because we're 6 episodes, right? We're on 4.
Yep, 4.
Yeah.
So just beyond.
Yeah, so we're a little bit before. So I feel like they do have a lot that they're gonna have to cover in the next 2 episodes. So I don't know if this is a 2-season show or whatever, but overall,
it's been confirmed it's going to season 2.
Yeah. Okay. So that actually changes a lot of things. So I think they've got a lot of things they can still do. But overall, yeah, I thought it was an all right episode.
Okay. Rob, what are your thoughts?
Okay.
What do you like? What did you dislike?
Yeah. First of all, let me just say that this episode completely redeems itself from last episode. For those who may be questioning whether we're sane about that or not, check out our last review, because I think we all pretty much just despised episode 3.
It was okay.
Shut up.
I liked it. It was fine.
No,
fine.
This type, when you have 6 episodes of this quality, being just fine is not good enough. This 5th season of 24 was fine. It wasn't great. So we are in, I'm sorry, maybe season 6, where the nuke went off in Los Angeles, but I digress. This episode was a lot better. You know what? I'm gonna be very honest with you. I was very happy to see Owen Wilson return. I feel like, I know everybody keeps saying week after week after week, not just here in other reviews, man, Tom Hiddleston, listen, we can't expect him to be anything else but superior in this show, because it is his character he's been playing for the past 10 years. We have to give shout outs to the other actors and actresses that are in this show. I gotta tell you that when I see Owen Wilson show up on screen, I get giddy. I'm like super excited. I don't know what the future holds for him in the MCU. I'm very hopeful that he will remain around in some capacity, because he is just mesmerizing to watch on screen. As John said, this episode is interesting. I mean, it's another episode where you've got now the two, Loki and Sylvie, kind of working together to determine what exactly they're up against, and what is the time variant. And this is the puzzle that is slowly kind of unraveling. And as much as we get answers, more questions are raised. They did play off a lot the end of last episode of all the TVA agents are variants. That came into play in this episode. And we'll get into it in the spoiler section, but for those who have not seen it, there is a mid-credit scene that you do not want to miss, because I think that it propels you with excitement to see what this next episode 5 will be like next Wednesday.
And we're not like those other people on YouTube that blatantly just put that picture on YouTube. So if you don't know already, just stay away from the internet, because it is rough out there. People just jamming that on the front page. It's like, wow, you're really doing this. Okay. Andre, what did you like? What did you dislike? Acting performances. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, definitely better than the previous episode, but not by much. They don't have enough runway to stick anything. The show has no point at this point. They're not revealing it. They're not revealing enough, and this one I think raised more questions that it answered. And at this point, we've said it repeatedly. The performance of Tom Hiddleston, is carrying the show. I think if you didn't have a charismatic actor doing this, I don't think any of us would have continued to the 4th episode. And I think, frankly, for me, if it wasn't 6 episodes, if it was longer than 6 and this was the 4th one, I would be out. So I hope it redeems itself and stuff, but I really feel that the 3rd episode really did it a disservice leading into this 4th episode, which it was all done before. Like, there was nothing imaginative in this. If you've seen or read anything that is very similar in the genre, kind of corny reveals and stuff. We'll get more into the spoilers. But yeah, I just really think that whoever cut the trailer for this show did a really, really good job. And I was really excited for it. And that excitement I haven't been excited since basically the 1st and 2nd episode. So
Understood. John, so I'll ask you, as I'll ask you every week, a rating out of 10. Where are we at right now? What are you giving it?
I'll give this I forgot what I gave the last. I feel like the last episode I gave like a 6 or 7. So I feel like this is pretty much, other than the reveals, I guess, that may be key to the overall, structure or the plotting of the show or whatever. I'd probably have to give this also like a 7 out of 10. I wasn't like the first episode I watched twice, and I rewatched the first episode like right after. These last 2 episodes I've watched once, and that's pretty much it.
Rob?
Yeah, I think my last episode review was a 5.5, or a 5. I'm going to go up to about a 7.5 on this one. I liked it a lot more. And yeah, we'll explain more later.
Andre?
Andre was a 0 out of 10, and they got a 1 for I don't know what for
yeah,
random.
It was 1 for the performance. So I'd probably say this one might bring it up to about a 4 out of 10.
Wow. Okay, all right. And my last question before we close it out, in regards to the show so far, we've seen many Marvel shows right now. Is this a vector that you could watch with a normal person, a non-superhero, non-comic book person? John, now that you've seen 4 episodes, could you watch it with your wife? Could you watch it with someone who doesn't know, or are you still? Still too deep?
But I feel like it's a little too out there. Very like even the first opening episode was very comic booky. So even like ratings aside, the first episode, I think this is maybe too much, unless someone is really into quantum leapish type stuff. But I would definitely choose like Falcon and Winter Soldier as the kind of go-to. This is Marvel, this is action, anyone can watch this. So yeah, not quite for this one.
Rob?
No. My wife doesn't like any of this type of stuff. Yeah, I think this is this fits very neatly into a genre of sci-fi time travel type shows. And if you cannot get behind the concept of that, then this show is not going to be for you. For the layman, the people won't enjoy it if you can't suspend disbelief enough. So this is really for those. If you have not seen any of Loki or any MCU, it might be a little bit tough to get into it. Because there's a lot of history there, but you'll pick it up if you like Doctor Who, if you like Travelers, if you like
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures.
Yeah, exactly. Except for the second one, because nobody likes Bogus Journey.
What?
Whoa. Station, bro. Come on, slow down. We're gonna have a conversation about station.
No, nobody likes Station.
I love
Death?
Station.
Death? Come on.
He's my boy. Andre.
Yeah, I don't think this is TV for people who aren't into Marvel. Period.
Okay. All right, so we're closing it out. John and Andre, where can they find you guys on the interwebs and the desert of the real?
Yeah. So Heroes World Online takes you to pretty much our entire online presence. So Heroes World Online, all one word, that'll take you to our Instagram, which is one of probably the most active, which links to the Facebook, and then which also links to the website. So all that stuff, if you get in that ecosystem somewhere, you will get most of our, if not all of our updates. And Andre's been posting some great deals for our 20th anniversary on the Facebook. So if you're following us on the Facebook, definitely keep an eye on that. We'll try and get it routed to the other methods, but it's primarily there. And then if you're listening to this on the audio, Heroes World Podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, whatever your podcast platform is, definitely follow us there. So if you don't have time to watch these, you can definitely listen to it and give us your feedback on that. So thank you everyone for sharing and subscribing and all that kind of jazz.
Andre.
Yeah, and the store is back open for in-person shopping, and we are in Markham, Ontario, 8601 Warden Avenue. Come up and see us. We're there 5 days a week, and we're going to hook you up with whatever you need.
Rob, where can they find you on the interwebs?
The _905 all spelled out, and watch John and I tomorrow, Monday, live at 8:00 Eastern for the Heroes World Sidekick Show. John watches a sports movie, and we're going to see how well that plays out.
A hardcore sports movie, I would say.
Not even just sports and math.
Yeah, and not like, yeah, we're not talking about like we're not talking about Mighty Ducks. We're talking about like a hardcore inside baseball sports
analytics movie.
Not hardball. We're talking about not hardball. We're talking about Moneyball.
Which led to the Sloan Analytics Conference, which is something I want to visit one day in my life before it's too late. And that is a nerd. I am a
super sports nerd.
I am a super sports nerd when it comes to sports analytics. I love it. I love all the stats for basketball and baseball. I can talk about WAR and whip and everything all day and wins over replacements. Anyway,
so when you watch basketball and a player becomes open on the 3-point line, do you automatically in your head go, that player's 3-point percentage is this? That's the percentage.
If I had access to Synergy, which is the baller, I would be able to go through the shooting charts and see the percentages in the red zones of how far they shoot, the percentages of what, and if they were able to shoot with a player in front of him and a hand in front and without a front. But that's a whole different sports podcast that we can do. But yeah, Synergy Sports. Anyways,